Hey, welcome to BSB TV. I'm Kevin Gammy. I've got with me Dan Hardcastle from Create Digital. Really exciting venture. Dan reached out to me last week and said, hey, how do I get involved in this BSB TV stuff? And it's as easy as this. Daniel, how are you?
Yeah, I'm really good, thank you. Thanks for having me today.
That's okay. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
So I've got a bit of an eclectic background. I started off in hospitality a long time ago, and my family was in the business, and I sort of moved into the family business. Realized that I love cooking and love serving people and just passionate about products, meaningful products, good food, good hospitality, makes it all worthwhile. So I moved into Intercontinental for 12 years, traveled the world a little bit and enjoyed myself. And then I ended up in New Zealand working for Sara Lee as their general manager. And most recently, in the last 7 or 8 years, I was their managing director of their coffee division, which over here you'd know as Moccona Coffee and Law Coffee. So I managed all the coffee.
You got out of there. So awesome. But these days you're with Create Digital. Tell me a bit about Create Digital and what they do.
Yeah, so about a year ago, my business partner and I decided to get together. We'd always wanted to do a business together, and we formed Create Digital. Create Digital is all about bringing strategy into digital. So what we realized was a lot of digital agencies out there, and a lot of people wasted time trying to get their message across, their strategy across to digital agencies. And digital agencies would be sat there struggling to find out what you actually did or how you did it. So what we do is we work with business before they go to a digital agency, and we create clarity. We create messaging, we create clear strategy. My rule is if you've got more than 3 things you're working on in your business, forget it. You'll confuse yourself and your customer and even your team, your staff. They'll be like, wow, what are you working on? So what we do is bring specific clarity to your business and show you where the profit pools are. And I would say probably 9 times out of 10, we take people into a different journey than probably what they started on, because we want to try and monetize what they do and do it quickly. And once we've got them to that position, then we walk them through with their digital agency and their brand agency to create their finished product, whatever that wants to be. Mainly it's in the digital space, certainly what we're seeing at the moment.
Cool. Now, you've got a 3-step process to bring about that real crisp clarity that helps people. And it's as simple as building 3 core elements. Now, what are those 3 core elements in 5 seconds or less? And then we'll talk about those for the next couple of minutes.
Sure. So number 1 is clear message. And I go back to your why. Why are you in this business? Number 2 is you must have meaningful product. You've got to have products that your consumers just fall in love with. And number 3, you've got to make it so easy for these your consumers to buy from you. And a lot of people put barriers up in their buying cycle, and it's like, whoa, just turn people off completely. And you can talk about sales funnels, and you can talk about your websites, as well as B2B. Your sales people just confuse the heck out of people.
You can confuse yourself on every single one of those levels in so many easy different ways. So let's attack them one at a time. So 1, that clear messaging. So bring about your why. For you, what's the absolute core of what you need there?
Well, why did you do what you did or doing now? Because if you don't know that, then how the heck can you sell your message to your internal and external stakeholders and your consumers? So what I do is take people right back to when they first had a happy moment. Could have been happy at school, happy in marriage, happy with your kids. And then we start building their values into that. So you're always work better when you're in your happy place, I say to people. And once you've built those values, and remember your values change as you go older. They probably change 3 to 4 times a year. You have your adolescent values, which it's all about what's in front of you. And then you have your mid-year values, where it's all about you and your family and building. And I think, I don't know about you, but as you get older, your values become more social values. It's about sharing and caring a little bit more. So what we say is it's okay for your values to move, but your why, your passion, your energy, your belief should be absolutely crystal clear. So then you message that to your customers through your brands.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, the next part of the journey, being the meaningful products into existence and front of mind for your prospects. How do you go about that?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I take people back to the traditional 4 Ps. It's like, what are 4 Ps? And if you can remember, certainly in the 80s and 90s, it was the big buzzword in marketing. And so it's very much creating the right product. So you do that through a very simple innovation funnel. It could be 2-step, it could be 5-step. But as long as you scientifically go to the market with your products, you know, your total addressable market, am I actually providing a solution, and map that out and get it right? Because a lot of people launch products without it being right, you know, maybe 80%, 90%. There's one thing you can do. You can launch your website at 80%. You can launch a selling field at 80%, but you've got to launch your product at 100%. It's got to work, and it's got to hit that mark for the first time. And then in there, you've got your positioning of your product. You've got your price of your product. I talk about pricing from top down, bottom up. So top down is, you know, what your assumptions are, what your market is, how much you think you're going to make. Bottom up is actually, I bought the thing, I've imported it, here's the duty, now I'm putting the tax on, I have to put all my costs on. Actually, I need to sell it for this. A lot of people don't do that. And when they actually do the bottom up and you meet at the top and your gut feeling is actually you're on track, then you've got good pricing for your product. But if you're way off, you've got to go back and start again.
Absolutely. So it is about first getting that message absolutely crystal clear. What are you in this for? 2, what is it that you're delivering and how are you helping your customer? And then 3, what's the third and obviously most critical thing?
Make it easy for them to buy. I mean, websites, e-commerce websites can be so confusing. If you have to do more than 4 clicks, you've lost me as a buyer. You know, if you're going to do Facebook advertising and you're putting your brand and your message on the Facebook advert, make sure your landing page is straight into your product page, because you've obviously captured them. If you take them right back to your why, or you take them back to, you know, the story or whatever, they're going to have to go through that sales funnel again. You've already qualified them.
And they're already bored of that. So, yep, they've already been there. Why are you telling me all that again? And they'll jump straight out. I get 100% what you're saying there. So, 1, make sure your why is really clear, right? You know your why, and don't be scared to shout that from the rooftops. 2, meaningful products that are helping people buy into that why, right? Exactly. And go through the journey with you. And then 3, making it very easy. Sounds like a simple process. Now, you've got a video that describes this in a whole lot more and better detail than what we've just done.
Sure. So on the Facebook page, you'll see a click soon. Go into the click. I've got 6 videos on there for you, more about the trust triangle and taking it a little bit further. But I've also broken down the 4 Ps, so you can actually see in there what you need to be doing with your product. And there's a bit of a gift at the end, if I may talk about the gift.
Yeah, sure.
So I've got a $500 gift. So whoever watches the 6 videos, right at the end, they click on the gift, it goes straight into my calendar, and it's a session with me. And what we'll do is talk about what your biggest problem is, and we'll solve it together. And then I'll give you a step-by-step plan on what I think you need to do to get out of the hole. And, you know, it'll be one simple thing that you want to bring to the table.
Fantastic. I'm excited about giving you a call and booking in for my $500 gift. That would be truly awesome. Thanks very much for coming on, Daniel. When we get off, jump in, put in a link to the video series. That would be fantastic. And then we'll do that post for you separately as well. So thank you very much for your time today. I've really appreciated it.
Thanks, Kevin.